Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Games get 10 times better when Michelob Ultra is on the line, so race to the bottom of a slope. Winner gets an Ultra. Or enter at MichelobUltra.com/Ultra Instructor for a chance to win tickets to the hottest sporting events of 2026. Michelob Ultra, Ultra Instructor, no purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 21 plus. Begins on January 30th, 2026. Ends on February 22nd, 2026. See official rules at MichelobUltra.com/rules for free entry deadlines, prizes, and details.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Football Smack Talk Show. I am your host, Ryan.
I'm Eric.
Welcome in, everybody, to another fantastic Wednesday. We made it through the first half of the week.
Now it's all coasting from here, guys.
I'm glad I'm going to send this off to your boss just to let them know.
God, they already know.
I know. They 100% do. Anyway, we got a long off season. Lots of things to talk about. In fact, last night on the Birds of the Round Table on the Eagles Pinball Network, we kicked off draft coverage with a little bit of a mock draft between Dibs and I. But today on the Football Smack Talk Show, we're going to focus a little bit on the roster itself. We're going to do a full roster, stay or go. We're going to see how that looks. Some are obvious, some are not. But either way, we'll go position by position, going through things. And if there's time, we'll discuss, some other things.
Before we get going, I just want to wish everybody a happy anniversary.
Absolutely.
8 years ago today with their big win over the New England Patriots. You know, the ESPN's doing a 30 for 30 special on Friday for the Philly special. So that will
Which
be
I thought was kind of bullshit that they should have released it today.
right. That's what I thought too. I'm just like, well, it would have made sense if they'd done it today, but whatever.
ESPN has certainly fallen off.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll look forward to that. Any further detail that anyone can provide for that wonderful moment in all of our lives. So, all right, let's get to the roster. And if you're with us, chime in. Let us know what you guys think of when we're talking about a certain player. Sometimes by the time we get to it, we might not know. So if you're talking about a specific player,
yeah, name that player.
It does help. So
yeah.
All right, let's start on the offensive side of the ball, and we'll start with the easy. We'll go quarterback.
So you'll give me the layup to start. Obviously, I want to keep Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I would think Jalen Hurts would be a nice, easy keep. No more needed to talk
Yeah, I was
about.
going to say, I don't think we need to discuss that any further. Anybody who thinks differently,
This
isn't your show.
Yeah. All right, Tanner McKee. Listen, a lot of people are assuming that he might be involved in some sort of trade. He didn't look great in the last game, so I don't know if that might have killed his value.
Right.
What do you think? Stay or go?
Look, if you can get something of value for him, then sure, you can send him on his way.
Okay,
but
what's value?
I don't think you're going to. To me, third rounder.
You think anybody's giving you a third rounder for Tanner McKee?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I don't think so, which is why I'm going to say just keep him.
Okay.
Because what else are you going to do with the backup quarterback? I mean, sure, you could go get. There are options, but I don't know if they're that much cheaper or that much better. Like, just stick with the guy you've developed. So I'm saying keep Tanner McKee.
All right. Next up, Sam Howell, who actually is a free agent. What do you think about him?
Again, I mean, if you can keep him, the price is right. Like, it's not going to break my heart if all of a sudden I see Sam Howell signed somewhere to be a backup. But if he wants to test the waters to see if there's a backup spot for him, I say I'll salute, go for it. But yeah, if the money's right, keep him.
Okay. All right. So no changes in the quarterback room, according to Eric. All right, let's go with the running backs. Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I'm keeping him.
Yeah, I thought so.
He is good at tackle football.
Yeah, he is. Tank Bigsby.
I like Tank Bigsby. I like him. I like him and Saquon in that 1-2 punch. I want to keep that. I want to keep that together.
agree, and I hope they utilize a little bit more of Tank.
Right.
I thought when he was going well, he was getting a good yard per carry, but they just weren't utilizing him all that much. So yeah, I like the duo. All right, next up, AJ Dillon.
Clearly, he found his way into the doghouse, and maybe the move for Bigsby was an indication that he
Right.
wasn't going to be kept around. I'm fine with letting him go.
Same. Yeah, I think he just couldn't find his place. All right, Will Shipley.
He's got one more year, right, under his rookie contract.
Yeah, I
I
think he's
believe.
going into his third year. So
Yeah, keep him for one more year. After that, he's probably moving on anyway. So, yeah, I want to keep him.
okay. And recently signed Carson Steele that we signed from the Chiefs practice squad.
Yeah, a curious move. So I guess I want to see how that pans out. I'm sure they must have seen something that they liked, so I'll keep
Yeah,
him.
yeah. I'm kind of wanting to see what he has
Hmm.
in camp and kind of go from there. So I'm good with that as well. So
Yeah, maybe
bye
put a pin in
bye
that.
AJ.
Yeah, maybe put a pin in that discussion, and we can discuss that further when we start talking about roster cuts in late August.
Sure. Now, theoretically, I do have to mention the one and only official fullback on the roster, injured Ben Van Summeren. Do you bring him back? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, agreed. I kind of feel bad leaving it, leaving it like that. So, all right, let's go to the wide receivers. I'll start with Devontae Smith.
Well, obviously, I'm keeping Devontae Smith. Yes.
Okay. Next up, Jahan Dotson, free agent.
Look, I had high hopes for Jahad Dotson. To me, he really has not lived up to. I wanted him to be a nice outlet guy. I wanted him to take some of the pressure off of Smitty and Brown, and I just don't think he did that. So I'm fine with letting him walk.
Yeah, I think he's obviously going to probably look for a raise, and I just don't think the offense utilized the third wide receiver spot all that well. So next up, going into his second year, the darling of training camp, Darius Cooper.
Yeah, I'd like to see him get another shot. You'd like to see him make the 53. I want to see him push for that wide receiver 3. If we don't address that either through free agency or the draft, I want to see him push for that wide receiver 3.
Okay, sounds good. Britton Covey.
Hey, look, he's a kick returner. Like, that's his primary responsibility. We saw what happened when he was not on the team. So maybe I'd like to hold on to him.
Yeah, our kick return was putrid at best.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
And let's just say nearly led to me having a stroke during that Dallas game.
Wouldn't have surprised me.
Yeah.
Moving on, Danny Gray.
Whatever, man.
Yeah, exactly. Signed back to the practice squad. Good old Mr. Aquez Watkins.
Whatever, sure. You see ya.
And then Johnny Wilson, injured, couldn't make it back. Going into his third year, still think the dude has good amount of potential.
Yeah, I like him, and I still think he can be a nice red zone target. I like Johnny Wilson. I want to see. I feel like he has that ability to move the sticks on third down and be a big threat in the red zone. I want to see him on this team next year.
Yeah, again, I think people kind of forget that he was on the team just because we haven't heard his name in forever and never really got any update on how he was doing. So, last but not least, on purpose.
I knew this was on purpose.
Leaving for the last.
Yeah.
Mr. Always Open, A.J. Brown.
Now, I know I'm going to be, I'm sure it'll be unanimous on this show, maybe the minority around the Philadelphia area, but I want A.J. Brown back here. I feel like cooler heads have to prevail. Get these guys, get him in a room with Sean Mannion, and, let's talk about what this offense can be. Let's forget the past. Let's move forward.
Yeah.
And I think cooler heads can prevail. I think AJ Brown should be back. in
Yeah,
2026.
I think the local media has
Yeah.
certainly driven this, narrative to the point where now national people are picking it up and they're like, "Oh, well, we hear around the league that blah blah blah." Who gives a shit about around the league?
No, I don't at
Nobody.
all.
All that matters is how the Philadelphia Eagles feel about AJ Brown and how AJ Brown feels about the Philadelphia Eagles. And you talk to anybody who's actually not a JO that understands the locker room,
Right.
will tell you that he's beloved by his teammates. The organization loves him. And yeah, AJ Brown.
40.
Yeah, I love that. AJ Brown could certainly get frustrated. But I
Sure.
think with a new offensive coordinator, I think, perhaps, hey, listen, perhaps I was a little bit hasty. Yeah, let's see what's what. There's been no
and
true
and look,
indication he wants to leave. The report that he had asked for multiple trades is 100% false.
yeah,
The person that tried to report that is notorious for not being the most
he should
credible.
have he should have his media credentials revoked.
But anyway,
But yeah, I agree with you. And look, if there's one thing, you had that Freudian slip calling AJ Brown Terrell Owens. Hey, look, Jeffrey Lurie remembers T.O. and remembers how T.O. was so productive in this locker room. And like you said, just like AJ Brown, really beloved. And it's easy for a situation to spiral out of control. I think Jeffrey Lurie can be that adult, can be the guy that says, look, guys, I remember what this was like. We can fix this. Let's learn from our mistakes
right.
and let's keep AJ Brown in this
Let's
room.
not remember that we're not
Yeah.
that far removed from having, somebody like John Hightower, a prominent member of the wide receiving corps.
Yeah.
No
Please.
offense to your cousin from another mother, but Greg Ward Jr. being the top guy.
Yeah.
Top guy.
Okay, my man.
Like,
Yeah, I don't want that again. Like I love my
settle-
cousin. I love him to death.
Right.
He's my man.
Right.
Come and hang out at the
Obviously,
family
he had his time.
reunions. But
come on.
yeah, no,
We
come
have
on.
a 1-2
We
punch.
got AJ Brown.
Right. We have a 1-2
like,
punch that we need to continue
yes.
building upon. So anyway, yeah.
Agreed. I want to add pieces to that receiving
Right.
core.
I
don't want to take anything
I would like
away.
to draft a wide receiver to fill the third spot.
Right.
And kind of build up from there. So, all right, let's move on to tight end.
Which, as we've said, there are none under contract for the Eagles.
Yeah, there's really not. Let's see. Grant Calcaterra.
The calculator. I'm kind of hoping the numbers don't add up there and the calculator can be on its way out.
Oh, that was a good math joke. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Kylan Granson.
He doesn't do anything for me. I mean,
Agreed.
yeah. If you're bringing him back as a third tight end,
it's not the worst in the world, but like,
yeah, but
right. And listen, we really shouldn't be crying about a third tight end. We do need to focus on the first two, but still.
Well, I mean, there's a team playing in the Super Bowl who routinely runs out a 3 tight end personnel set.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Potential though.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the prize of the tight end room. Mr. Dallas Goedert having one of his best seasons.
Yeah, I would dare to say maybe his best. Yeah. Yeah, I want him back.
I do too. And listen, I think even if you get him for like a 2-year deal, right? I still would love to draft a dude early, first 2 rounds. And
I love your boy out of Oregon, Sadiq.
Yeah, Sadiq would be fantastic. And have those be a 1-2 punch transfer,
Well, we talk about wanting to fill the third receiving spot. Well, if you take Sadiq, I know that adds just really the second tight end, assuming you're keeping Dallas Goedert. But man, that makes that 12 personnel run really
You can
smooth.
run 12 personnel, and then you also have 2 receivers out of that 12
Right.
personnel, plus your 2 star wide receivers.
And all of a sudden, that's options for Jalen Hurts, and he can work through progressions. And I don't know, maybe if you get him to the line of scrimmage with more than 5 seconds on the play clock, he can process and see, hey, who should be my hot guy here? Who should be my primary read? I know what the play suggests, but this is what the coverage is telling me.
Right.
I can make adjustments. God forbid you have more than like 3 seconds before the play clock goes off and you can make those decisions.
Yeah, exactly. So I agree. All right. I believe he was on our practice squad. Never really got, and doesn't even theoretically have an official number according to the roster here. But
Oh,
this
so
is
you
a
can't
guy
get
that I
his
like
jersey?
coming out of Florida State, going into his 3rd year. Jaheim Bell.
Yeah, I'd like to see what we have there.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of hasn't really found his footing in the NFL just yet.
Right.
Again, if I feel like if he's going to come into camp and have the full camp to kind of, figure things out and
Yeah.
learn with everybody else learning, the new offense,
Again, fine
potentially
with
has a shot at tight end 3.
bring him back as part of the 90, and we can we can see if he makes it to the final cuts.
Right. Yeah. All right. EJ Jenkins.
I mean, give me your favorite EJ Jenkins moment. Right.
Listen, he made a play or two, especially in camp. He stood out a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'd be fine with a 90,
Yeah. Yeah.
for the 90, but I just don't see him making a roster here. So, whatever, I could go either way. So, and then final tight end, officially tight end, Cameron Latu, who was used a lot as a fullback once Van Simmeren kind of got injured and, kind of didn't
How do you
really
feel
see
like
much.
Latu did in that role? I mean, I felt like he was decent
I
in
thought
that
he
role.
was
Yeah.
decent.
So I'd like to see him challenge Van Simmeren. Maybe bring it in where you got the 2 of them and one of them's making the team.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. And just kind of let him
Yeah.
figure it out. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's move on to the offensive line. Let's start with our centers, official centers, Mr. Cam Jurgens.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Drew Kendall.
I was fine with him. I like him as a depth piece. He can play center. He can play guard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's an easy keep,
yeah, yeah.
especially with Cam Jurgens' health. I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if they went out and drafted a actual center
Mm-hmm.
just for more depth pieces. But yeah, absolutely. And then finally, Nick Majors, who I don't recall when he got added, but
Yeah, I
rookie
know
out
he's
of
a. Yeah, I mean, look, I liked him in Texas, but
Texas. Right.
yeah,
Support for this show and the Fans First Sports Network comes from Strong Coffee Company. Elevate your coffee routine with Strong Coffee Company's Black Instant Blend and Lattes. Both feature organic coffee, protein, MCTs, and adaptogens for sustained energy and mental clarity. With quick delivery and exceptional taste, their coffee is a convenient option and a nutritious addition to your daily routine. Experience a healthier, most productive day with Strong Coffee Company. Visit strongcoffeecompany.com and receive 20% off at checkout using promo code FFSN. Again, strongcoffeecompany.com, FFSN.
yeah, sure. Again, you could be part of the 90, and we'll see if you make the final cut.
There you go. Sounds good. All right. Moving towards the outside, we got guard Landon Dickerson.
Yes, obviously he's being capped.
Yeah. That's pretty. All right. I guess theoretically end of the season on the injured reserve list, but guard / center, I guess you could call him, Willie Lampkin.
Again, like he didn't really do anything for me, Like I'm
Oh
sure,
yeah, you didn't see any time, and
yeah,
they never activated him off off the IR officially.
yeah. I'd like to see him in camp and See what we have.
Yeah, exactly. I'm interested in kind of seeing what's what. So, all right, Tyler Steen.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I felt like going into the season, he was kind of the weak link on the offensive line. Like he probably played some of the more consistent football of anybody on the O
Yeah, he
line.
wasn't necessarily outstanding, but he was solid enough.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate trying to bring in somebody to kind of compete. But, again, you should always be looking to improve your team. And that's
Okay.
certainly a spot on the offensive line where you would want to improve. But yeah, so I obviously he has to stay. So, all right. Matt Pryor.
Man, I really hope we've seen all we're gonna see of Matt Pryor in the game. Like, I've not been the biggest fan of his. I wanted to get behind him, but man, like he just
Jeez, tell us how you really feel.
he's had a while to get his footing here. It just hasn't happened. So I'd be fine letting him go.
Okay. All right. And they trying to decipher through this. No, I just friggin' saw him. Brett Toth.
I kind of feel similarly to Pryor, but I think I'd be more forgiving of Toth.
I disagree. I think Toth
Okay.
is guarded enough. Now, again, I think when he was asked to, actually start and knew he was starting, I thought he did fine.
Hmm.
It's just when it was like, oh yeah, by the way, you're starting tomorrow,
Yeah.
or you got to
Such
go
and
in
such
the
is
game
dead,
now.
so you got to go in. Yeah.
I just thought he was.
But isn't that kind of the life of a
I
backup
mean,
offensive
you're not
lineman?
wrong. You're not wrong. But again, I think with preparation, I thought he played rather well, and I'd like to see him kind of expand on that. So, all right, moving to tackles. Let's start with another Texas boy, Cameron Williams.
I'd like to see what we have there in Cameron Williams. Again,
100%.
I loved him in
There's such
Texas. Yeah.
rawness ability with him that I have to
Yeah,
see.
I have to see more. Yeah,
Yeah.
before I can make a decision on him. Yeah.
Our boy Fred Johnson.
I may be the president of the Fred Johnson fan club. Like I really like him.
I love Fred Johnson. I was so happy
Yeah.
when we got him back. Not
Yeah,
only
I
is
really
he
like him.
he's a great presence in the locker room,
Yeah.
but man, did he step up for Lane
Right.
in such a great way. I think had we not traded for him again, bringing him back, I shudder to think where we'd be.
I kind of think he could have been like MVP of a team. Like he was that good in such a tough spot.
Yeah, it certainly was. All right, Jordan Mailata.
I mean, obviously, I want Mailata back. I know, like, he did not have a good year
Didn't
this
have his
past
greatest year,
year,
that's for sure. You're
but
right.
I definitely think there was something up. I think he was injured.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably more football than he's ever played. Considering
well,
he hadn't
well,
played a
definitely
ton of
is.
football in his life.
Right.
So like I feel like he's gonna know how to take care of his body a little better this off season.
Yeah.
And I want to see how he reacts to that. Like he's just such a likable dude, and
Yeah, there's no reason
I want to give him the benefit of the doubt.
there's
Yeah.
no reason to freak out. He just didn't have a great year and, move on and he'll be back. All right, Miles Hinton, the rookie from Michigan.
Well, when you say rookie, that immediately makes me think I want to see more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that again, I want to see more. Another case of where maybe we invite him as part of the 90, but whether or not he makes is it 53 at the end now? I know they changed it recently, but
Honestly, I can't.
I'll just call it the 53.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm never going to not call it that. So,
Yeah. Okay.
all right. Then we have finally on the offense, the last person, rookie out of Rutgers, 6'8", Holland Pierce.
I mean, he's 6'8". Like again, I feel like this is another case of let's see what we have. And we're gonna know a little better too once we see the draft whether or not we like who we want to actually keep, who we're actually going to
100%,
invite.
yeah.
Tonight.
Well,
But,
and
yeah.
also free agency too. So
Yeah, yeah.
Adam checking in, Big Fred. And also, he had a bad year, Mailata. Yeah, wasn't
Sure.
great. I think it was a combination of, there had to have been some nagging things. The fact that Landon was nagging all year, still playing. So kind of he was probably having to cover a little bit. And then Dickerson was probably having to cover for Jurgens as he was a little banged out. It was just a domino effect.
Right. Once you start down that domino, it's
which I think if you really look at it, it might make you feel a little better about Steen. The fact that he didn't have Johnson for half the year and was dealing with a hurt Jurgens for half the year or
and
Toth.
hurt.
Yeah. So, the fact that he was at least consistent, I think says a lot about him. All right, well, there you go. There you have the offense. I don't know if I think if we can speed through the defense, but why not wait? Well, I was going to say, why not? We'll give it a part 2 next week.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
More on the defense, that way we give it its proper due. We might as well do special teams.
Okay.
So,
Would you want to do that? Or I had a special question I wanted to ask you. I heard it at the end of NFL Live. They talked about we touched on it briefly at the beginning of the show, the Philly special and the special, the 30 for 30 they're showing on Friday. Which again, I think you were right. They missed the ball. They should have released that tonight.
Really should have released that today. Yeah.
But so they asked him, how did it change so many Philly fans' lives? And it's like, man, like just this morning, I was talking with a good friend of the show, Shane, and I said, easily second greatest day of my life. Greatest day of my life being the day I married my wife. For me, easily the second greatest day of my life was when the Eagles won that Super Bowl. Like, hands down.
Yeah,
I know you probably have some mixed emotion. You have a son that,
I would say, that's probably my second greatest moment as well. Obviously, the day my son was born, and the fact that while, only a year and a half old, was able to
he was there with me.
The Super Bowl with me, and in his young 9 years has 2 Super Bowl victories under his belt.
Spoiled little brat.
Spoiled little brat, exactly. How old were we? 36?
Yeah, I was 37 years old. Yeah.
36 years of nothing.
Yep.
Nothing. And this kid
I have the shirt, which I'm so glad that Jess mispronounced this when she saw this. The shirt, I survived the Rich Kotite era. And she's like, who is Rich Kotite? And I'm just like, Kotite! It's Kotite! I got so fired up.
There's no shock to that.
Yeah.
But yes, easily has to be the second greatest. And they were, I think 97.5 was doing like, what's the greatest championship of your lifetime kind of thing. And
God, that's easy.
Phillies. Yeah. And I get the 08 Phillies. That was the
it was the first one for us.
Years.
Yeah.
It was the first one, really. Again, we were 2 and 3 respectively when the Sixers won theirs. Right. So that doesn't really freaking count.
No.
Yeah, we really weren't there to witness it. Just kind of like,
even if it had the Eagles.
No, yeah. And same thing with my son. I'm sure, when it comes down to it, he's going to be like, yeah.
He'll say this year as opposed to 52 because he really remembers it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, so obviously the 08 has a special place, but yeah, I mean, I'm an Eagle guy more than a Philly guy. But yeah, so.
Anybody could walk around your basement and they'd realize you're an Eagle guy. Walk around your house, really. Oh, geez. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I mean, I don't. I mean, I have plenty of space on my walls that I could add stuff, but I mean.
Yeah, I'm seeing some spots there.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure you look at the back of my wall and you're immediately in your mind, like how you would feel.
Absolutely. I put that shit there, but that there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously more of an Eagle guy, but it was a special day 8 years ago, especially everything that's kind of happened since then.
Yeah.
Being there with you, your family, your dad, sharing that moment with you guys. Yeah, it's certainly something that every time I think about that day, that Super Bowl, it's part of what I think about. It's part of being there with my son,
Yeah,
and
that
then
was cool.
also being there with you and your dad, witnessing, being a part of that moment. Yeah,
I also think of you at one point hoisting my uncle, Uncle Nick. It was hilarious. And at one point, I know Nicholas hoisted me up.
wow, that's saying something.
I know. I was telling him, man, you just got a low center of gravity, and you had the physics and just like hoist it up. And boy, like being in his early 20s and having the muscles.
Right. Adam says they need to develop a center and 2 guards. I think Jurgens and Dickerson are injury prone. Well, they certainly are, and I agree
Yeah,
with
but
you.
that's part of, I feel like, adding depth. And if you're going to have
Yeah.
a good offensive line, and especially in
Well, I
today's
think
NFL, you have to have depth.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's hope for Kendall.
Yeah.
P was with Nick Foles and WIP afternoons. I was 58, I think. Yikes. Yeah. Well, there you go. It took a long time.
Yeah.
I don't even have one jersey other than a generic Phillies. LOL. Too cheap. I have a Jab jersey to sell. Got one. This is I think I'm just
That's not
gonna say
even
that's
like,
like
that
a
doesn't scratch the
like a
surface
fifth.
of what you,
That's like a
yeah.
fifth of my jerseys, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm preparing something. If anybody knows me, I have an Instagram page called The Hunt for 100 Eagles. And basically I'm just showing all of my jerseys. But
Right.
I'm trying to get a jersey from 0 to 99. I'm about 3/4 of the way there. But I have over 100 jerseys. And I'm just kind of showing them one by one. But once I get through that, I kind of want to do like little series of, other things. So I'm kind of prepping for that. But anyway, well, yeah, that's going to do it. Quick show. Sorry about that. We really
These quick hitters, though, I feel like can be some good quality shows.
absolutely. I mean, it's
Yeah.
us. They're always good
Yeah.
quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We're pretty awesome.
But all right, folks. Well, listen, as I said in the beginning of the show, draft coverage has started on the Eagles Pinball Network. Please make sure you're checking in Birds of the Round Table. Also, a couple other shows that are doing draft coverage. Dives is back doing draft coverage with David and I, and we're going to kind of steer that ship for an Eagles-centered look at draft prospects. Mark and, of course, Shane Half are going to take a more of an NFL-focused look at NFL draft prospects.
I'll
So
be
please
dialed
make
into
sure,
both those shows.
yeah,
Yeah.
please make sure you're liking, following, sharing. If you're watching this or watching this later, please make sure you do that. Or if you're listening later to any podcast platforms, please make sure that you give it a 5-star rating. That stuff means the world to us. It helps us get our stuff shared out to more and more people. And let's be honest, just looking at the landscape, you're seeing some shows, you're seeing clips of people, and it's like you'd rather
Right.
see quality stuff. And Eagles Pinball Network, that's all we do. But that's going to be it for us. Eric, do you got anything to add before we pop on out of here?
Nah.
Appreciate Adam for chiming in, helping us with some comments. We do always appreciate that. But appreciate everybody who likes, follows, listens, shares, rates, whatever. All of it means the world to us. Thank you. Go Birds. And of course, have a great rest of your week. Hopefully there's not too much snow for the locals. And that's it for the Football Smack Talk show. I'm Ryan.
I'm Eric. Happy football, everybody. Go Birds.
Go Birds.